What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review and a brand new season of Married to Medicine, you guys. So we are on season 10 of Married to Medicine. This is episode 1, and this episode was titled Southern Sweet Tea, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. Do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Married to Medicine, shall we? All right, you guys, so the ladies are back, you guys. I'm really excited for this season of Married to Medicine, minus the addition of Phaedra Parks, you guys. So this episode, it actually opened up with Phaedra, and she has a story of her own. And, you know, it is what it is. I still feel a way about Phaedra being on this show because, as Mariah said, you are not married to medicine, my love. Like, I agree with Mariah. And no, I don't think that Mariah should be back. But, you know, I know there are plenty of people out there that want Mariah back. I'm not one of those people. I didn't dislike Mariah, but I could give or take with Mariah. Now, what I will say is, with Phaedra, I can definitely take Phaedra away from this. I don't know. I just still don't understand why they brought her over here. And all she's going to do is continue to do the same stuff that she's done on Real Housewives of Atlanta for years. Lie. Now, you guys know that Phaedra is dating this doctor. Mind you, his name is Dr. O. They didn't show no pictures of the man. They showed pictures of her with a man, and the man had an emoji plastered right under his face. I was like, here we go with the BS. Like, we're already starting up here. I was like, okay, cool. The thing that I've noticed about Phaedra over the years is Phaedra has gone from that Southern Belle, you know, a Southern Belle is this and a Southern Belle is that, to a very sexy person. Like, everything be showing her boobs, her ass, showing everything off. Nothing's wrong with it. I've just noticed that she's really changed over the years. Another thing that I will say is about Phaedra, not even about Phaedra. What I'm tired of seeing is this Mugler catsuit that I'm tired of that Mugler because it's been worn by damn near every housewife in different colors. I'm so tired of that shit. Now, her doctor boyfriend is from Nigeria. I think she said he's in pediatrics, allegedly. I don't believe Phaedra, as far as I can throw her. Like Dr. Heavenly said, the truth ain't in the bitch. And she one line about that. They did talk about Quad in this episode right here with, this was the first time that they mentioned Quad and the fact that they haven't saw Quad since New York. And, you know, Phaedra's like, well, she's been to Mexico, she's been to Africa and stuff like that. Now, we know why Quad was not in the first episode. Quad wasn't in the first episode because when filming started for season 10 of Married to Medicine, Quad had not signed her contract. Quad didn't sign her contract, I think, oh God. Because by the time Quad signed her contract, they had been deep into filming by that point. I think they were at the halfway point. I feel like they were at the halfway point by the time Quad joined the show. I'm really seeing how it's going to play out with Quad being on the show this season with Dr. G's. I think they are married now. Dr. G's new wife, Sweet Tea. We'll talk about Sweet Tea in a little bit. But yeah, that's really it. Now, Heavenly, didn't you and Quad have it out at the reunion last year when she specifically told you to stop saying these things about her, that she is sleeping with other people's men? You kept throwing shots at her in her interviews. And that'd be the thing that the cast can't stand about Heavenly, is that you go on your YouTube channel and talk about them and you talk shit about them in your interviews. But that's it, you guys, for that scene. Let us pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so next up we move over to Simone's house. Now, Simone and Cecil, you know, remember last season, they were supposed to be writing that self-help book. Well, they decided not to write that book because Simone took the advice of Omarosa, who told them in the process of writing that book, you are going to have to deal with the thing that got you guys close to divorce in the first place. And so, you know, Simone thought about that and she didn't want to do it. And I was like, I think that was a good idea. Now, Simone is having Dr. G over as well as Sweet Tea. And she's also having over, what's that girl's name? Toya and Eugene. I was looking at Eugene. I was like, Eugene looks really good. Eugene has lost a lot of weight. Like, Eugene really looks good. Now, they were talking about the fact that, Dr. G wants to get married again after the situation with Quad, and then they played the flashback of the reunion, the last reunion he was at, when they did that one-on-one with Andy, and they were talking about the destructive things that they did, where she said he pushed her, he slammed her to the ground and pinned her down, and he said that she pulled a knife on him and all that kind of stuff. I was like, ugh, glad y'all both out of that marriage. Again, like I said, we'll talk about Sweet Tea in a little bit, because I have a few things that I got some things to say about Sweet Tea, but I'm gonna wait till we get to Sweet Tea. Now, Sweet Tea and Dr. G did show up. We find out that she is 31 years old, and she is actually from Arkansas, but she grew up in Texas, and she grew up in Killeen. Now, that is interesting that she grew up in Killeen, because Killeen is kind of like one of those, it's like, well, it's not Fort Hood, but it's not far from Fort Hood either, I don't think. I know I have a friend that was from Killeen. I've never myself personally been to Killeen, but yeah. Now, we find out how they met each other. I was expecting them to come up with some, say, oh, I met her through a friend of a friend of a friend. No. She said she slid into his DMs and told him that she can give him what he needs. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, if you feel that way, you feel that way. And I'm not surprised when he said that his DMs had blew up. That's not a surprise. She is a surprise though. And she didn't even live in Georgia. And she told him that she was only a plane ride away. Girl, I bet you are. When you see dollar signs in your eyes, I bet you are. Sweet Tea. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but what Kanye said, she ain't messing with no broke nigga. For sure, for sure. I think that Simone, not Simone, but Toya and Eugene, they're in a much better space than they were last season. You guys, I will say, I don't know how anybody felt about Anila, but I'm glad that I'm glad that Anila was not invited back for this season of Married to Medicine. I kind of feel the same way about Dr. Contessa, although I did like Dr. Contessa. Last season, Dr. Contessa just really got on my nerves. That's the nicest thing that I can say about it. Like last season when her and Heavenly, she really kind of worked my last nerve. Like she tipped and tapped on that nerve. But you guys tell me what you guys think, and we'll pause here, and we're gonna move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next scene, it was just a small scene, but it was really sweet to see. It's interesting when you watch these shows for so long, because I've been watching Married to Medicine since season 1. I remember. Here's the funny thing about Married to Medicine, right? In the beginning, I did not want to watch Married to Medicine. After the first episode, I did not. The first episode, the thing that turned me off in the first episode was literally Quad and Mariah. They were the ones that turned me off because I felt like they were putting on for the cameras. Them being over the top and theatrical. That I was like, ugh. I was like, I don't know how I can sit through this show, but I did, and I felt it, and I continued to watch Married to Medicine, and I love Married to Medicine. It is my show. It is my show. I remember, oh my God, there have been so many things with Married to Medicine like that. There have been the fight season 1 with Toya and with Toya and Mariah. What about your lesbian relationship? Oh, Lisa Nicole and Dr. Darren. Oh God, Lisa Nicole was such a. You know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say anything negative about Lisa Nicole, but baby, Lisa Nicole was a time. So yeah, you guys, this episode, in this scene that I'm talking about, we saw as Heavenly and her daughter Alora were going prom dress shopping. I was like, oh my God, Alora is a teenager. She's about to go to college. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that Alora has really grown up before our eyes. And I will say the prom dresses that she tried on, they were so beautiful. And I see what Heaven was talking about. Like some people would, you got to watch. I don't think you have to watch her, but I knew what Heavenly was saying. Like, you don't want nobody because you don't want nobody looking at her and just ogling her. So I got where Heavenly was coming from. But yeah, like I said, the dresses were beautiful, beautiful on her. I can't remember which one she chose. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought. Now, did you guys see how much money she spent on that prom dress that she got? I think it was almost $3,000 that she spent for that little prom dress. I know that one was like, cha-ching! We made a sale today because she even rang the bell. I know sis was like, thank God. Whew. But yeah, you guys, yeah, let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so next up, Dr. G and Sweet Tea. I got a few things to say about them. Like, I'm sorry. What kind of woman is Sweet Tea? I be damned. Gregory and Quad lived in this house together. This was their marital home. And yeah, you slid in his DMs and you came down to visit. And when you came down with your bag, I guess you saw dollar signs, cha-ching, 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 right? And that's fine. But also, I would have saw dollar signs and said, you know what? We can sell this bitch, get a profit from this, and get another house. We can buy another house. We can build another house. But I refuse to live in the house that you once shared with your ex-wife. But I guess Sweet Tea said, fuck it. All we gotta do is just get rid of the shit. All we gotta do is just get rid of the shit that was in her with Quad. Because that's exactly what she did. They just got rid of the stuff that Quad had in her. I was like, there is no way. I'm sorry. Again, like I said, there's just absolutely no way that I'm about to live in the house that my fiance, soon to be husband, lived in with his ex wife. And it was a volatile relationship. I don't want no remnants of that. I don't want that juju. I don't want that zhuzh. I don't want none of that on me. I don't give a damn if you're going around with sage. I'm not saging that shit. We're going to sell this shit and get something else. Sweet Tea. Your snatch must not be that good, sis. Cause you should have been able to finagle that into like you really should have put it on him. Like you really should have put it on him and said, baby, how about we since we're now especially you should have did this really when you should have did this is when you got engaged. The day that he put that ring on your finger, you should have said, so for an engagement gift, how about we get another house? Like, I want us to have kids, I want us to have a family, I want us to have kids, and I don't want any bad, juju, any bad zhuzh on our new life that we're going to build together. So I think we should start a brand new and get a new house. You see? But hey, I don't know what she's thinking, I really don't. But like I said, there's just no way I would live in that house. So the hoedown, I'm still stuck on the fact that so her engagement party is a hoedown. And I get it, she's from Texas, but why would you? Because think about it. It's a hoedown. I know what a hoedown really is, but I mean, just think about how it sounds. Your engagement party, but it's a hoedown thing. Like, it sounds like a hoe is down. Get it? Hoe down. That's what I would think. Because I'd be like, why would she have a hoedown thing? Is she calling herself a hoe? And again, I'm not saying that she's a hoe. And I'm not saying that she's a gold digger. But she definitely gives gold digger. But I'm definitely not saying she's a hoe. I'm just asking, why is the thing hoedown? That's very odd to me. We also find out that she has a twin sister named Kanisha, something like that. They call her Newt. And everybody shows up to the party, right? When Dr. Jackie showed up and Dr. G asked her where was Lurch at, and she said that he is in the Dominican Republic, I said, say what now? Run that back. Run that back, Dr. Jackie. What did you say? He is where? Dr. Jackie, you do remember a few years ago when your husband went to the airport tall as fuck with another woman, right? Because everybody at that time thought that y'all were going through a divorce. But y'all weren't going through a divorce. And that was so stupid. You were in Atlanta's big ass airport with another woman as fucking tall as you are. I still don't understand it to save my life. That was the dumbest thing that I've ever saw in my life. Like I remember that season, and it didn't seem like they were in a good place. But for him to do that, and they were still married, hadn't even filed for divorce. Curtis is always and forever gonna be shit to me. Dr. J, there's just no way in fuck. Unless it's a work trip, there is no way in fuck. Curtis will go anywhere alone without me permanently attached to his side. But hey, it is what it is. Now, like I was just saying about the hoedown, right? Not Jackie, but Heavenly was talking to Jackie, and she was talking about the same thing. This hold down, it's an engagement party, but it's a hold down. It sounds very tacky. I was like, thank you. Somebody else agrees with me that this sounds very, very tacky. So we were also introduced to Dr. Alicia, you guys. Now, we met Dr. Alicia a few seasons ago when the ladies were talking to some of the doctors from, no, it wasn't that time, was it? Because you guys remember they went to DC in season 8 during the pandemic, but they met with Robin and Giselle that season. When did they meet the women from DC? Because Dr. Alicia was a part of that group. And I believe at that time, what happened is they were testing for a Married to Medicine DMV, but it never made it to air. And that's the thing about Married to Medicine that I really don't like, is that the fact we just have Married to Medicine, we just have this one, this is it. They have branched off and done other cities of Married to Medicine, but they end up canceling them. Married to Medicine Houston, and I actually liked Houston. I really did enjoy Married to Medicine Houston. It didn't have a lot of drama, but it was good. And they only got one season. Then we got Married to Medicine Los Angeles, and they got 2 seasons, and I reviewed both of those seasons, and I like those seasons. So Married to Medicine, y'all really, and Purveyor Pop is behind their show. I think the difference, what happened with both Houston and LA didn't work was the fact that with LA and Houston, those women worked for hospitals and stuff. Whereas with Atlanta, Dr. Jackie has her own practice, Simone has her own practice, and Heavenly has her own practice. Whereas in LA, those women worked for a hospital, so they couldn't really be on TV cutting the rug, doing the food, right? So I think that was what happened with that. And same thing with Houston. But Houston was really good. There was one that I really liked, Dr. Asandra. I loved her on Married to Medicine Houston. If you guys, I don't even know if it's on Peacock, I have to look and see. So, like I said, we met Dr. Alicia, then Phaedra arrived. Now, what I will say about Phaedra, I might not see it for Phaedra like that, but I agreed with her when I saw Sweet Tea in them shorts. I was like, are her panties hanging out? And Phaedra said she got that big Texas energy with big Texas panties to match. I was like, exactly. Now, we sit down and Heavenly asked Sweet Tea, like, what are you liking the most about being engaged? And she's like, the access to the money. Everybody's like, say what now? What did you say? She said the access to the money. And so Heavenly said, have you ever been called a gold digger? She said, well, not really, no. And so Toya said, has anybody ever called you a gold digger? She said, no. She said, well, then say no. Well, I don't know if she can say no anymore because everybody's calling her a gold digger. And here we go once again with Heavenly. Heavenly is in her interview shading the hell out of Quad. She called Quad a gold digger in her interview and said that T is just digging for copper. I was like, Heavenly, Heavenly, Heavenly. This is always the issues with you. You talk shit about your friends. Now, mind you, they sit in this woman's house, right? Well, technically, it was Quad's house previously. And they're talking about Quad. And she had to eventually say, like, if y'all are here for me and Gregory, be here for me and Gregory, and let's not talk about Quad. But Toya brought up to ask Phaedra if she was representing Quad in her DUI case. I was like, oh, shit. But you know what, and what I will say, because I know I didn't read the tweets last night about this, but I will say I'm not mad at Toya for bringing that up, because remember last season with Anila stuff, when her house got robbed, how they were trying to play it off like they think that Toya had something to do with that. And I was like, Toya's a lot of things in this. There are a lot of things that we can say about Toya, but I don't think that Toya would do something like that. There are a lot of things in this world that we can say about Toya, but that's not one of them. And so yeah, let's not do that. Let us not do that one. I didn't like that. Now, excuse me, y'all. So Sweet Tea, she did thank Dr. Simone for referring her to a specialist, and leave it to Heavenly to try to make this about really she made a scene out of this, right? Because she was like, why didn't you refer her to Jackie? And, she was like, Jackie is a general, OBGYN. I sent her to a specialist, and I got what Simone was saying. And child, this is the first episode, and then we already got Simone screaming at the top of her lungs. I was like, well, it ain't an episode of Married to Medicine if we don't hear Simone screaming at the top of her lungs. But that was really it, you guys. We did see as Dr. G and Sweet Tea when they got their marriage license, and we saw what's going to happen with this season. When that fool said, if he pulls his pants down, he ain't pulling them back up. I was like, what? Okay, Dr. G, really? This is gonna be a time, you guys. But I'm here for it, and I'm ready for this season of Married to Medicine. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn your post notifications on. Share the video, and until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.